Hello guys, welcome to my channel today, and today I will be doing some sleeve testing video. Many different companies make sleeves, so in this video let's look into this. We have Digimon sleeves that Bandai created, and we have some anime sleeves. As you can see, we have from Pokemon Center sleeves. We have Shield Hero Kodokawa sleeves, and we have Brocculi sleeves from anime Dakara Boku wa Hash ga dekinai. Let's start from Bandai sleeves. If you're looking for sleeves with cool Digimon art but don't want to pay a fortune, then these sleeves might be just for you. These sleeves are kind of cheap, but how about durability? We are going to do some scratch testing. As you can see, the insides are the white foily ones, so those tend to be very glossy and it slides very easily, so your nails are not catching up with the surface. I'm trying to scratch them pretty hard, but it's not that visible, so that is kind of very good. As you can see, I also scratched the other bag with the picture, and even if I did scratch it, it's not that visible from the front. So what about the splitting? It's quite hard. It's surprising. I didn't expect Bandai sleeves to be such strong. Of course, if you try to scratch it on the corner, it splits more easily, but as you see, it's still very strong. So it has bright colors, it doesn't scratch that much as I expected for this price. It seems that these sleeves do not have layers, which means they are single layer and you cannot just remove the surface that easily. But I still highly suggest double sleeving these sleeves, as they are kinda limited edition and they are still not that strong comparing to super expensive sleeves. Now let's look at this art. So of course everything is the same as the previous sleeves, but we would like to test it if they are actually the same. This time we are going to draw a ball on it. Again, it is very glossy, it slits very easily and it doesn't catch up on the first surface. Then we go on X, and as you can see, X is the enemy of the sleeves. They don't like X at all. As for the splitting test, this actually split a little bit more easily than the previous one. Baby sleeves. Again, the status are the same. Let's look at the scratch test. So the surface this time was a little bit more catchy. What I mean, it is because of the art. we can see this art with babies on it, so you can feel it a little bit with your fingers. Those sleeves are perfect for a Digitama deck. As for the splitting, again, it actually splits very easily. So actually, we can see that the blue ones are the most durable. Okay, finally, let's go to the Omnimon foily sleeves. So the difference between this time and from the previous, that Omnimon has foiled based pattern on it. We draw a ball and it's actually perfectly fine. It's super glossy, it doesn't catch at all. We draw X, and comparing to the previous ones, this time X didn't entirely kill him. And then we gave him a triangle, and again we don't actually see any triangles, any balls, just a little bit. So Omnimon is the best one that passed the scratch sleeve test. Sleeving feeling is very nice. I don't have any bad words comparing to the sleeving and double sleeving. It was pretty comfortable to do that. And again, the art is just mwah. As I mentioned before, the corners are very sharp. They are sturdy and they're sharp. You can a little bit cut your hands while shuffling. Now let's go to our beloved anime sleeves. Pokemon Center Sleeves. It feels that they are more thinner than Digimon sleeves. You can see the art behind it. So it is very thin. But I would say that it is definitely passing the scratch test. Most likely because it is very thin, it does not scratch up that much. But when we try to sleeve the cards, we have some issues. Like, you have to use 2 fingers at the end because it will not push down that easily. And when you try to put the card into the sleeve, the corner catches with the sleeve corners, if that makes sense. So for the final mark, we have this. As for the scratch test, we almost do not see anything, just a little bit. So it passes scratch test easily. Splitting test. Again, it splits very easily. We can see that the only bottom of the card is actually the strong point, and every rest of the card is just very weak. Finally, let's go to Brocculi Sleeves. So as the company, I super love Broccoli. I use double sleeves from the Broccoli all the time. But let's see how our anime Dakara Boku wa Heiji ga Dekinai sleeves can pass the scratch test. Again, we can see that those sleeves are thinner than Bandai sleeves, and they pass scratch test quite easily because of it. And actually I think the art is just the same picture as you can see now, except without the guy in it. Splits quite easily as any other anime sleeves that we tried in this video, so double sleeving is a must. You will only play with these sleeves one draft or one sneak peek if you do not sleeve them. As for the corners, anime sleeves tend to have more softer corners, so that might again prevent them from corner splitting, but if you try to split them, it still splits very easily. So they're very flexible but very easily splitting. They will not manage to cut your hands because they're so thin and soft. Finally, we haven't yet done the shuffle test. The corners do not catch up as I expected them to catch, and it's quite easy to shuffle. As for the anime sleeves, they are very soft. That sound makes me uncomfortable. So my final conclusions would be that Bandai sleeves are actually much better than I expected myself. So I hope you liked my video and see you in the next video. Mom and Dai, please subscribe.